No, alright. I know that sounds bad.
So some people were very excited for the PS5 Pro release, and a lot of people weren't, as you can see by the overwhelming amount of dislikes. But I'm really concerned about the future of Sony and the future of the PlayStation 6, just based off this conference alone. There's no disk drive that comes with the PlayStation 5 Pro. What you need to do is buy the add-on that you can buy for around £80 to £100 or dollars, which means if you have any disc-based games and you still like to play them, then the PlayStation 5 Pro actually costs around £800. It doesn't seem that many people seem to care that much about this being an issue, because the PS5 disc drive add-on is currently in one of the top 10 sellers in one of the categories on Amazon. Now, if the PS5 Pro doesn't have a disc drive, then there's a very high chance that the PlayStation 6 will also avoid a disc drive, and you'll either have to pay extra for an add-on, or they'll go completely digital and disc-based games will be no more. Another point we have is its fairly high price point. Now, the PlayStation 4 Pro came at around £450, and the PlayStation 5 Pro comes at a high price of £700, which to a lot of people wasn't a very good look, which again is a huge reason why people have mass downvoted the presentation. But couple this with the fact that Sony has actually been raising the price of the base PS5 and the controller in some regions, this definitely gives the impression that the PlayStation 6 will most likely cost at least £700 or even more, which we still then have to factor that first party games, or a lot of games, are now selling at a new £70 price point. Another issue that seems apparent from the PS5 Pro is a diminishing return on graphics. Now, we know that graphics are fairly important, or at least style is very important in a video game. I mean, just look at Nintendo games. They are very, very stylish even on that underpowered hardware. But PlayStation seems to really focus on realism on games such as The Last of Us, and it's coming to a point where there isn't that much of a difference that we can see visually. For example, when they talk about how good the PlayStation 5's capability was, in that you could zoom in onto the pores of Aloy or Ellie's face, that it was that detailed, people aren't really focused on that. People want to make sure that the game looks pretty good, for one, through style, not through realistic graphics, and that the game plays well. And that was also shown because PlayStation admitted that 75% of people choose performance mode over fidelity mode, which means people care more about frame rates than a game looking extremely pretty with ray tracing. We're reaching a point where the PS6 is likely to cost more, but all it can offer is a slightly higher resolution at a slightly higher frame rate. For some people, that might not be enough. Another issue is that there seems to be no competition. Now, as mentioned earlier, Nintendo is in its own lane, doing its own thing, and Xbox have basically checked out of competing against Sony in the console market, which means Sony now has free reign and they can do whatever they want because no one's there to challenge them on pricing. Analysts also say that one of the reasons why it was easy for Sony to charge £700 for the PS5 Pro is because there is no competition, and therefore there's no reason to lower the cost of the console. Again, a great reason why competition is very good in the market. It's good for the consumers, it's good for innovation and progression, and without it, the only people that suffers is us. And another thing, possibly finally, is we don't need better hardware. The main issue is games are becoming less optimized as time progresses. If we look at games such as Call of Duty, which takes up an astounding amount of storage space on your hard drive, there seems to be a lot of bloat in westernized games where optimization is thrown out the window. Companies should be optimizing their games instead of being filled with a lot of bloat and just taking up so much space in your hard drive. Now, I'm really hoping that Xbox can get themselves together, and I'm hoping that the future of Sony isn't looking as predatory as Apple can seem to be, or Samsung can seem to be, but only time will tell. If you enjoyed this video, leave a thumbs up or a like, and subscribe for more of my rambles. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in another video.